For people who have not seen the show Diggers, tell them a bit about what they're missing.
You know, what makes Diggers so fun is we're just two guys, you know, traveling America, having fun, looking for historical artifacts, you know, bringing them to the public so that everybody can enjoy. You know, it's just a fun show. I mean, you could watch it with your family. You're not going to have to worry about nothing. I mean, it's good family entertainment.
KG and Ringy with us from Diggers. Premieres tonight, National Geographic Channel, 9 o'clock Central. I'll tell you what makes the show fun, guys, is your unbridled enthusiasm about anything you find when you're on the hunt. I mean, the historical context of what you find is neat to imagine where these pieces of history have been in the past. But you guys are excited about everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I still, to this day, you know, if I dig up like an old silver coin from even like 1899, you know, it might be worth $2, you know, and you know, to some coin collector or whatever. But to me, it's priceless because you could just almost picture the cowboy or whatever that dropped it there, and it almost makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It's just been there forever, and you're the first human to touch it in 100 years or something. It's a cool feeling.
KG and Ringy with us from Diggers. It's Riley and Scott on WROK. You can find out more about them at natgeotv.com/Diggers. They're on Facebook, too, or the NatGeo Twitter feed, too, at NatGeo channel. You can hashtag Diggers as well. You guys have been all over the place, and it seems to me the shows that I've watched, you find more round balls than anything else. Is that the most common thing you find on these battlefields and elsewhere you go?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, people don't realize how many shots were fired, like in the Civil War. I mean, there are just literally hundreds of thousands of bullets laying on the ground, and, you know, you can't help but stumble onto them. But, I mean, there are so many other things in the ground that, I mean, when you know, you'll dig several mini balls or whatever, and then all of a sudden you hit that, you know, when you do hit a belt buckle or something like that, if you're lucky enough to, it's insane. I mean, it just, you know, your brain locks up and you freak out. It's crazy.
You mentioned obviously spend hours at these locations to kind of narrow it down into a half-hour-long television show. How long do you spend at a certain location to get what you need to put together the TV show?
You know, normally we go out for 7 days and we have 5 full days of filming. But what people don't see is, like, we already got spots lined up, and we might go to 4 or 5 different locations before we actually start finding the time period we're looking for stuff. So usually it's 5 full days of filming for 22 minutes of airtime. You know, so when you find something, you're pretty excited.
Absolutely. KG and Ringy from Diggers premieres tonight, 9 o'clock Central on National Geographic Channel. It's the season premiere, the 4th season premiere. And tonight's episodes, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in episode 1. That sounds like an interesting dig.
Oh, it was so great. I mean, just the scenery there alone was incredible. And then to be standing right where Butch and Sundance and the Hole in the Wall gang, you know, they came down through there, and there's still like a cabin standing there, and you can see old parts of fences and stuff, and you know they were all just hanging out there. And we actually found some cool stuff. Lots of old fired casings. I don't know if they had any shootouts right there or not, but there was definitely some shooting going on in the 1800s there.
You guys did an episode once, the believed final shootout, Bonnie and Clyde too, right?
Yeah, we went to Iowa, I guess, and we went to where, you know, like all the people went and they surrounded Bonnie and Clyde and they opened fire on them, and we actually found casings that were fired during that battle, and that was last season. But, you know, on tonight's show, the premiere, I mean, we're going to go up there. We're going to go the Hole in the Wall. We're going to go exactly where you know, the Hole in the Wall gangs hung out, where they ate, where they actually held off posses coming in so that they could escape. I mean, it's going to be an incredible show tonight.
And then a little bit of digging around the James Madison, right? The fourth president of the United States. And there could be some incredibly historical stuff that you find the second half hour.
Well, that's another super interesting thing, because in that case, we got to actually go, right where, the father of the Constitution, he's up there working on that, and right outside his window, we're out there digging around in his yard, and we had a whole team of archaeologists and other metal detectors helping us, and we had this whole team block off like a football-sized area, and we all went to town on our own little sections there. And it's really going to be interesting, because it was, there's a lot of times we'll go somewhere like out when we were doing the Butch and Sundance thing, where we're in the middle of nowhere, there's nobody around, it's KG and I running rampant, trying to find an area. But here, we know what happened there already, and, it was a lot of, densely packed stuff, and it was really cool. That's going to be a great show. I'm excited about that one too.
Okay. All right, KG and Ringy from Diggers. I'm sure you're asked this question every time, but I still have to ask it. All your years with the metal detectors and digging all over the place, what's the most amazing thing that you guys have found?
Well, we've got several, but I'd have to say, last season I found my very first Confederate belt buckle, and it said CS, Confederate States, right on it. And when I was pulling it out of the ground, I thought it's an oval one, so it looks just like the U.S. one from the North, the Union. And I saw the S, and I had never found one, so I was really excited, but I had no idea it was the Confederate one. And when I brushed it off and saw the C, I ran around and jumped on a tractor and jumped off of it and actually broke my foot.
Oh! Oh, man.
Yeah. One of my favorite finds was on one of our shows, a few years back, and we went to Idaho, and these people heard that we were in the area, and there was this big, proud cowboy and his wife, and they had lost this wedding ring in this field. They had matching wedding rings. There was peace symbols that the best man bought for him, but he was feeding horses, and he lost this ring. So they heard we were in the area, and we showed up with 3 vans full of cameras and everything, and you could tell this big old cowboy, he was embarrassed and everything. But we went out there, and after about an hour and a half of searching, everybody gave up, and I was working this fence line, and I had the camera guy with me, and I ended up finding the guy's wedding ring. But we didn't tell the guy, we didn't even tell Ringy. We went in there and we started laying toys on the desk that his kids lost 30 years ago and stuff.
Oh, wow.
But I reached over and I dropped that wedding ring in his hand, and that cowboy melted. I mean, he was crying. His wife was crying. Half the camera crew was crying. I think Tim even cried.
Wow. Great stuff.
Yeah, I was so angry that they didn't tell me, because I got all choked up, and I'm like, I am not going to cry on TV. So I turned around and walked away.
Oh, man. Guys, I know you got to run here. KG and Ringy from Diggers on the National Geographic Channel. New season premieres tonight, 9 o'clock Central on National Geographic Channel. Trust me, if you watch, you will be hooked on Diggers. KG, Ringy, congratulations on another season, and look forward to watching.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for having us.